Across the golden sands of Egypt, beneath temples, pyramids, and tombs, lie secrets that defy everything we thought we knew about the ancient world. We all learned about the pyramids, the pharaohs, and the mummies, but what if I told you that much of what you were taught in school barely scratches the surface? What if Egypt's greatest mysteries were hidden, not in dusty textbooks, but in the forgotten corners of the desert? From secret chambers inside the Great Pyramid to lost technologies that seem centuries ahead of their time. Today, we uncover 10 secrets about ancient Egypt you were never taught in school. Everyone knows the Great Pyramid of Giza as a tomb, but here's the truth. No mummy was ever found inside it. None. So what was it really for? Some physicists suggest that its structure aligns perfectly with electromagnetic energy fields, making it a potential ancient power plant. Its shape, angles, and internal shafts correspond almost perfectly with magnetic lines of the Earth. Coincidence? Or was the Great Pyramid designed not just to honor the dead, but to harness energy itself? Even modern engineers admit the precision of its alignment to true north is something we'd struggle to replicate today. But the mystery deepens when you consider the materials. The granite stones inside the king's chamber contain a high percentage of quartz crystal, a mineral known for its piezoelectric properties, meaning it can generate an electrical charge under mechanical stress. Is it possible that the very structure of the pyramid, combined with the subterranean energy of the Earth and the acoustic resonance of its chambers, was designed to vibrate and produce a subtle yet powerful form of energy? This isn't just wild speculation. It's a theory backed by some serious scientific minds, who point out that the absence of soot marks in many deep interior passages suggests they never used torches. So how did they see? Perhaps they didn't need to. Beneath Giza's sands lies a labyrinth of tunnels, shafts, and sealed chambers. Egyptian legends called it the City of the Gods, and early explorers like Auguste Mariette claimed to have seen massive subterranean halls filled with carvings, statues, and even ancient machinery. Modern ground-penetrating radar has confirmed there are vast cavities beneath the plateau that remain unexplored. So why won't Egyptian authorities open them to the public? Are they protecting fragile history or guarding something far more extraordinary? Recent scans have revealed a massive, previously unknown void deep within the Great Pyramid, a space large enough to house a cathedral, yet completely inaccessible. What purpose did this serve? A hidden treasury? A sealed hall of records? Or perhaps a resonant chamber for the proposed power generation? The official narrative is one of preservation, but the secrecy fuels theories that what lies beneath could challenge our very understanding of human history, potentially containing artifacts or knowledge that would render our current timeline obsolete. At the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, one carving has baffled scientists for decades. It shows what looks like a giant light bulb, complete with a filament-like snake and a power cable leading to a lotus socket. Some dismiss it as symbolic art. Others, including electrical engineers, argue it depicts an ancient form of electrical illumination. The temple ceilings even show sootless burn marks, as if the chambers were once lit without fire. If that's true, then the Egyptians may have harnessed light thousands of years before Edison. But the Dendera light isn't an isolated anomaly. Experiments have been conducted where replicas of these depicted devices, using basic components available to the Egyptians, have been shown to produce a startlingly bright, arc-like light when a sufficient electrical charge is applied. Could the famous Baghdad batteries, clay pots from Mesopotamia, capable of generating a small voltage, be part of a wider, forgotten technological tradition? The evidence is circumstantial, but powerfully suggestive of a lost science of electricity. In the quarries of Aswan lies a massive half-carved obelisk, It's the largest ever attempted, over 1,000 tons of solid granite. Yet here's the mystery. No tool marks consistent with copper chisels were found. Even modern diamond-tipped saws would struggle to cut it so cleanly. So how did the ancient Egyptians carve, lift, and transport multi-ton granite blocks with such precision? Was it lost technology or knowledge passed down from an older, forgotten civilization? The precision is mind-boggling. At sites like the Valley Temple next to the Sphinx, we find granite boxes weighing over 100 tons, carved with such accuracy that the corners are perfectly square and the surfaces are flawlessly flat to within a few thousandths of an inch. This isn't just skilled craftsmanship. This is a level of precision engineering that would require advanced machinery today. The mainstream explanation of pounding with dolerite balls and rubbing with sand seems almost comically inadequate when faced with the microscopic perfection of these artifacts. The question isn't just, how did they do it? But what kind of society possessed this capability? And why did that knowledge vanish so completely? On a temple wall in Abydos, inscriptions seem to show what looks like modern aircraft, a helicopter, a tank, even a jet. Coincidence? Erosion? Or evidence of an ancient people with knowledge of machines thousands of years ahead of their time? Skeptics call it a visual illusion caused by overlapping hieroglyphs, but believers argue it's part of a greater pattern, one that suggests human history may not be as linear as we think. This theory, known as the OOP art, or out-of-place artifact phenomenon, extends beyond Egypt. But the Abydos glyphs are one of the most visually striking examples. While the palimpsest theory, where older carvings were plastered over and recarved, creating accidental composite images, is the accepted explanation, it fails to satisfy many. The coincidence is simply too perfect. If it is just random chance, why do the overlapping symbols so clearly and distinctly resemble a helicopter's cockpit and rotors, a submarine, and a futuristic aircraft? In the 1960s, scientists discovered traces of radiation inside certain Egyptian tombs. Mummies like that of Pharaoh Akhenaten, often linked with alien myths, were reportedly unusually radioactive. Coincidence? Or evidence of exposure to ancient nuclear or cosmic energy sources? While most historians reject the idea, the question remains: why are some tombs hotter than others? And what kind of rituals were they really performing inside? This ties directly into the curse of the pharaohs, which was long dismissed as superstition. But what if there was a scientific basis? The tombs were sealed for millennia, potentially trapping radioactive isotopes or concentrated, naturally occurring radon gas. When opened, this could have caused the cancers and mysterious illnesses that plagued the early excavators. Alternatively, could the Egyptians have been using radioactive materials, perhaps without fully understanding the danger? Some theorists point to ancient Hindu texts describing devastating Vimana wars and powerful weapons, suggesting a prehistoric nuclear event. Could a faint, forgotten memory of such technology have influenced Egyptian practices? While Giza's pyramids steal the spotlight, one lesser-known structure hides even darker secrets: the Black Pyramid of Amenemhat III. It's decayed, unstable, and off-limits to tourists. But inside, explorers found intricate passages, fake burial chambers, and a hidden sarcophagus made from solid quartzite. Some believe it was an experiment in energy resonance, while others think it was designed as a decoy to confuse tomb robbers. Either way, this pyramid proves one thing: ancient Egypt still hides architectural experiments we can barely explain. The use of quartzite is particularly telling, given its piezoelectric properties. Was Amenemhat III attempting to build his own resonant energy structure, a smaller, more refined version of the Great Pyramid? The complex internal layout, a maze of dead ends and hidden passages, speaks to a mind obsessed with secrecy and protection. Not just from thieves, but perhaps from something else entirely. Pharaoh Akhenaten, father of Tutankhamun, broke every rule in Egypt's religion. He declared the sun disk Aten as the only god, erased other deities, and built an entirely new capital city in his honor. But here's the twist. After his death, Akhenaten's name and city were wiped from history. His statues smashed, his records burned. Why such fear? What did he discover about divine power that terrified Egypt's priesthood? Some say he tried to reveal knowledge too advanced about light, energy, and creation itself, and was silenced forever. His artistic revolution was just as shocking. He had himself and his family depicted with bizarre elongated skulls, narrow shoulders, and wide hips, a radical departure from the idealized human form. Were these symbolic representations a literal depiction of a genetic condition, or perhaps even a portrayal of something else entirely? The violent reaction of the subsequent priesthood suggests Akhenaten's heresy wasn't just theological. It was a threat to the very foundation of their power structure, a power structure that may have been built upon guarding ancient, potentially dangerous secrets. Discovered in 1898, the Saqqara bird looks like a small wooden toy, but aerodynamic studies show it's shaped almost perfectly like a modern glider. Its wings and tail are balanced for flight, not decoration. Was it a child's toy, a ritual model, or a prototype of something bigger? Even NASA engineers have recreated its design and confirmed it could have flown with just a small power source. If true, it means the Egyptians understood the principles of aerodynamics thousands of years before the Wright brothers. But the Saqqara bird is not alone. Similar artifacts depicting bird-like flying machines have been found in other ancient cultures. The question is, what were they modeling? Were these simply imaginative renderings of birds of prey, or were they based on observation of more advanced, man-made flying machines? The absence of a horizontal tail wing on the Saqqara bird initially caused skepticism, until engineers realized it functioned perfectly as a glider without one, its curved wings providing inherent stability. This isn't the crude guesswork of a primitive artist. It's the work of someone who understood the physics of lift. When Howard Carter discovered King Tut's tomb in 1922, the world thought the mystery was over. But recent radar scans suggest there are still sealed chambers behind its walls. Some archaeologists believe they might contain the resting place of Queen Nefertiti, or perhaps even an untouched royal archive. If proven true, it could rewrite everything we know about Egypt's 18th dynasty. For now, those doors remain closed, keeping Egypt's greatest secret buried just a few feet beyond reach. The political and academic battles over gaining permission to drill a small camera hole into these voids have been fierce, hinting that the stakes are incredibly high. What could be so important that it justifies such resistance? The discovery of Nefertiti's intact tomb would be the archaeological find of the century, but the possibility of a hall of records, a repository of scrolls and artifacts from Akhenaten's reign that the priests tried to erase, is what truly fires the imagination. It could be the key that unlocks the truth about Egypt's most mysterious period. So, what do all these clues tell us? That ancient Egypt was not just a civilization. It was a mystery school of science, art, and cosmic knowledge. They weren't merely obsessed with death. They were obsessed with eternity, with energy, and with harnessing the fundamental forces of the universe. The pyramids were more than tombs. The temples were more than places of worship. The artifacts were more than art. They were components of a sophisticated understanding of the world that we are only just beginning to glimpse. And perhaps that's why, thousands of years later, their monuments still stand, whispering through time. You've only uncovered the surface. If these secrets blew your mind, imagine what else lies buried under the desert. Make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into history's biggest mysteries. Drop a comment with which secret shocked you the most. Because in history, the closer you look, the stranger it gets.